Everybody, thanks for watching. Now, as you probably have noticed, I've been putting up a lot of videos promoting the DVDs and, trying to get people to see the content that is out. Now, one of the reasons why is, as I said before, a lot of the promotional videos are being blocked or censored. A lot of people are not seeing what's coming out and what's available. And as I said before, a lot of people are getting spam readings. A lot of people's computers and antivirus programs are blocking them from going to my actual website and getting the content. So when I put up a lot of these promotional videos, it's to, have the link right there for people to click on it, and go get the content. So in a lot of cases, as I said, you have a lot of people who have antivirus programs that it's blocking them and they can't get the content. And even more cases, you have people who are just not seeing these ads, and it's something that is crazy. For each DVD I put out, I spend about $500 on promoting it through the my website, promoting it through the internet, and promoting it on Facebook. If you've probably seen it on your timeline, and Instagram as well. So it's crazy to spend that kind of money on promotion, and then people are still not seeing it. As many people as you would like to see it. So again, you have to just think about, one, if there are it's almost 40,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then when you add in Facebook, Instagram, or what have you, and emails of people that I have, it shouldn't be numbers sub 100 from the United States. That is obviously something that's being sabotaged. If you have almost 40,000, over 40,000 people who are subscribed and locked into your content. I mean, if you just go through the comment section and look at thousands of people who leave comments, and the positive comments, look at the thumbs up I have versus the thumbs down in many of my videos. So you see how many people are actively engaged in the site. So to have that many people actively engaged and then so few people who have access to the information, that is definitely some kind of sabotage. And I'm a computer science, almost have my PhD in computer science. I understand computers and how they work, so I can see what's going on. So I wanted to say that because, of course, as I talked about before, mindset, you have people who look at this and say, oh, well, he's just about, business. He's trying to get money, so you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. What I'm doing is answering and responding to the hundreds, thousands of emails from people who didn't even know it was a Saturn Satan 5 or 6. It's crazy. I've been on vacation. I've been traveling the world, as people know. I said before that I was going to disappear for a while. I've been taking care of things. So when you come back, I haven't really read emails and looked at things, but when you come back and you have thousands of emails in your inbox and you start reading the emails and you start seeing people saying, hey, link not working. You're seeing people saying that they're not seeing the content. Well, the site is reading that spam or has a virus. My computer won't let me get there. And you have so many people saying the same thing. It's frustrating. So I can only do what I can do, to try to fix that problem. It is what it is. So I'm promoting. I'm trying to do the best I can to put the information out there and get it out there for people to see. I also wanted to thank the people who have been supporting, the people who have been patient, people who understand, what I'm trying to do. I really appreciate you guys. But, a lot of times you get people who just going to be negative. It's something that you come to understand in doing stuff like this and putting out information. Anything that's controversial, of course, you're going to be met with people who, detractors and haters and stuff like that. This is something I've come to, just deal with. But, you get people complaining about the intro's too long or what have you, like they can't just skip. Like somebody would actually take the time to go to the comment section and write the intro is too long, but like the rest of the video. I mean, it's just little petty stuff that, drives you crazy sometimes, but you just let it slide. But another thing is this. I mean, I don't understand, again, why people come here. If you are religious, Christian, Muslim, what have you, if I'm speaking against your God, why are you on my channel? Why are you subscribed to my channel? If I'm talking against the person who you hold dear and, you give the praise to for your entire existence or what have you, if I'm disrespecting that person, why are you on my YouTube channel? Why are you subscribing to my channel? Why are you following me on Instagram and Facebook? I don't understand that. What is wrong with people? This is how you know these people are trolls. These people have absolutely no life. These people trying to piggyback off of what I'm doing. You get a lot of people making these little diss videos. There's a couple of them on YouTube right now with people who just a joke, making videos against my videos, who chopping and screwing what I say and just, doing stupid shit to try to get some kind of content online. It's ridiculous. I'm not responding to the stuff no more. A lot of people can see right through it. And when I read the comments in a lot of these videos, a lot of you guys already, cut them up in the comment section. So it's no reason for me to actually make a video responding to it. So I want to thank all you guys, you know who you are, who go to these comment sections of these people's stupid videos and cut them up about, the bullshit they put in a video. And again, why are you people here? But what's the point? Like, go. It's a bunch of people on YouTube. Why are you coming to my channel? For what? If I'm speaking against your God, if I'm speaking against your religion, what are you doing here? You ain't supposed to be here in the first place. So, that's weird to me. And people come in and just leave comments and try to really pull people away from the channel. But my information, my content is what it is. If you're watching it and you look at it, you see what I put in it. You see how I do it. Leave proof, facts, stuff that you can research on your own. I put books up there. I tell people, don't believe me. Don't listen to me. Do your own research. So it's not as if I'm pushing, Kemet on people and trying to say, hey, this is what you have to do or what have you. I'm saying, yeah, it's what you should do if you're smart, but you don't have to follow what I'm saying. You have to do what I'm doing. You can look at the information, and if you feel that it's not right, it's incorrect, then you can go a different route. It is what it is on that. But yeah, that's a distraction. Enough of that. I really wanted to get into Congress and get into what's going on with the Senate and everything like that. And people need to understand these laws they are passing. And, the distraction of the flood, the distraction of the Floyd Mayweather fight, a lot of people are seeing now. They passed a law that basically gives them warrantless access to people's homes. And Congress, again, it's like, what's wrong with us? We keep letting these people screw us over, and these are the people who we elect to basically, stand up for our well-being. Now, if they passed a law to basically allow warrantless searches of premises in Washington, D.C., Maryland area, that's something that eventually is going to be national. If these people have the power to kick in your door, regardless of, getting a warrant from a judge and have a probable cause or what have you, that's game. That's like allowing them to basically, take our guns away. That's something we can't allow. But, this gets you looking at the whole issue again, with Congress or what have you, and, with these people who we elect to handle our business. And it's like, come on, y'all. We got to stop. We got to stop fucking being stupid. Seriously. I talked about before how, one, we can see that Washington, District of Columbia, how they became a corporation, how they basically passed laws to allow them to have a government, and how that system, how that government basically changed America into a corporation, and we all fall under that. Now, come on. Do you not think that, the congressmen don't know about this stuff? We think about what happened, 1913, what the Federal Reserve Act passed. Do you think they don't understand what that act is about? Especially when you have Ron Paul brother coming out in front of the Federal Reserve talking about this. When you have Ron Paul himself speaking continuously about this situation. When you have so many congressmen standing up and saying, hey, the Fed. As I said, this is their job. This is what we got to understand. This shit is WWE. Seriously. Because that's what they're supposed to do. You keep seeing videos of these, senators and congressmen cussing out, the Federal Reserve chairman and cussing out people in Congress or what have you. And, it's fucking wrestling, man. This is what they're supposed to do. They cuss them out on camera so you can see it and be like, yeah, these people are fighting for our rights and fighting for us, and nothing ever changes. Notice that. You had the whole big thing about the Federal Reserve, the whole derivative bubble, and killing everybody in the Federal Reserve when that happened, and coming at the banks and saying, hey, the bailout, the money, you got to do the right thing with it, And all this is on camera, and them saying this stuff, for the people to look at it and be like, yeah, things are going to be better now. Nothing happens. We haven't gotten our money back from the bailout. People have not been given the loans they need to get their houses, to basically repair their lives after 2008. And this all, again, goes back to Congress. This goes back to your senators that we elect to take care of these problems. But clearly, this is their job, is to just talk shit. They are bought off. They are bullshitters. You mean to tell me that they can't look at this thing and say, well, wait a minute. Look at these laws that's in place. Why is these laws in place that's basically destroying America. Why are we allowing the Federal Reserve to print this money and just drive us deeper and deeper into debt? Is that beneficial for the people? Is that what we should be doing for the people when you have so many people who have problems in America? I mean, how can they allow us to give away so much money to so many foreign countries, billions of dollars a year to these countries, when, as I said, only $3 billion a year will completely eradicate poverty in America? How can they allow us to give away $30 billion and $20 billion to these countries when we got starving Americans and we just don't say nothing? You look at these numbers year after year, and you got to understand that Congress and the Senate are the ones who make this stuff happen, and it's destroying America. And then, we go back to another election, and people want to debate about election after election. Vote for this person, vote for that. Voting does shit. Plain and simple. And you get celebrities who get you sucked into this whole voting stuff and this and that, and what is it going to do? Same shit year after year after year that we've fallen for. Nothing ever changes. We've fallen deeper and deeper into debt, and having more and more liberty stripped away, and more problems in America arise. Meanwhile, you have the media promoting this whole race war while we're being stripped of everything that makes America America, that made America America. And it's gone now. As I said, they took over, the bankers own this place. So what's the point of having elected officials if they're doing nothing for the people at all? I mean, think about that. We get little stuff that's done, and these little things that are done in a neighborhood are done to benefit business. It's not really done for the people. And if you live in a rural or inner city area, we're not seeing any real change. We're seeing new buildings go up and these new homes go up to basically benefit the local colleges and benefit people who have the money to afford it. But the people who are living in public housing or what have you are being pushed out a lot of these neighborhoods because, one, it's getting more attractive to live closer to the city. I mean, think about it. You have black people that occupy the inner cities. Well, a lot of people like to live downtown, but when you have downtown surrounded by black neighborhoods, they want these people gone. You can see it in LA. I seen it a lot when I was in LA, where getting closer to downtown, they're trying to get rid of these people. They built a stadium there. They're building a new stadium in LA. For those of you who live there, we already know, Inglewood. And that area, you have, it's a little hood near there, and you got, a lot of houses around there. But the property value in that area just went up. Close to the stadium, the property value just skyrocketed. So they're buying up a lot of these homes and trying to price people out of their area. But we're seeing this across America in a lot of cases where, the inner cities are being basically priced out, pushing black people out into different areas away from the inner city that is more attractive for people to live at. Because for a long time now, you have white people coming from the suburbs into the city to work. And they would much rather be living near the city, to work. And it's easier for them. It's an easier commute. So, we're seeing the change happen slowly. And if you live anywhere near downtown LA, they really want the Mexicans out of there. The Mexicans have an area there where it's just all them. I forget the name of the blocks, but I drove down 1,000 times. But you see it's a bunch of Mexicans out there. They have a bunch of stores. And then you get to the downtown part. They really trying to get that area. But the Mexicans are smart and they know what they're doing. But you have Skid Row that's near there too. So they definitely trying to change so many things. So, Congress, when they act, these senators, when they act, they do things that's going to benefit business. Of course, this is a fascist country. It is ran by corporations, and they understand that. Again, lobbyists. The simple fact that lobbyists exist should tell you. I mean, come on. How is that fair? The simple fact that lobbyists exist, and we have this situation where, corporations can have lobbyists to go to politicians and lobby for their best interests, even if it goes against the people. So how is anything supposed to happen for Americans if you have lobbyists that can step in, pay a couple dollars and get what they want? This is why we're not getting what we want. So we have to look at these people. And a lot of people are getting it now. I'm seeing a lot of people with the signs, we need to overthrow the government and need to get rid of these people. And I mean, keep it real, that's the only way shit gonna change. Congress has to go. Senators they have to go. The system has to be completely overhauled or nothing is going to change. As soon as the people start to act, they jump on our side. As soon as we calm down, nothing gets done. It goes back to the whole thing about marching. We march and march and march and march and march. They might say something to shut us up or send the cops there to disperse us, but then the end result is not in our favor. And we've been seeing it year after year after year. People get so excited about a president who really literally has the power to change America overnight with his pen. Nothing gets done. All the problems we're talking about can get changed with a stroke of a pen. One, getting rid of that Federal Reserve, paying them their money we owe them, setting up a system where we could pay off what we owe them and get rid of them. I think JFK had it to where we would pay off the Federal Reserve in like 2 years, so it's possible, but if we mountain on, debt after debt after debt, what is that going to do? So obviously these people are in the pockets of the people who control the Federal Reserve, and they get their position and are allowed into these positions in, Congress and Senate to keep their mouth shut, to not really fight for the people. And a lot of politicians have come out and said that, who was on their way out the door, saying, well, when you step in there, if you're for the people, you're not going to have any friends. If you're trying to protect the people and help the people, you're not going to have friends. But if you're going to do what you're told, then you'll get a lot of little incentives to do so. This is what they're getting. Don't get me wrong, you have some politicians who come out who are outspoken about their points and what they're trying to do to help the American people. But I'm telling you, a lot of the times these people this is their job. You're going to be the one that just scream and talk and try to protect the people. That's your spot, and we're going to go against you. So when these people step up on C-SPAN and you listen to them talk, they make so much damn sense in so many cases. And to me, it's a no-brainer to, pass this stuff. And then at the end, it don't get passed. So the people don't get helped. So we have Canadians and Europeans and Africans and people outside of America who can look at our system and say, yeah, how the hell did this get passed? It goes against the Constitution. Clearly the Congress, they know this. The senators understand this. And why they have not come together to abolish so many things that have been passed is beyond me. I don't understand that. So again, you got to understand it's so corrupt that when these people come in, they are overwhelmed with the system. So I can imagine they have to make a choice. Either you're going to have a political career or you won't. And for a senator, congressman, what you have to go through, the elections and the money and everything like that, all the babies you got to kiss and what have you to get to that point, it's a lot. And then not just that, these people have their families on the line, how they pay their bills and their careers. And all that stuff is on the line. College, everything you work hard for, all that stuff is right there on the line. You finally got there. And if you start going for the people, it can be taken away from you. And that's what these people have to face. And for the average normal human, they're not going to be able to do that. Some have, and most of them have been killed or just, have their careers destroyed. So this is what they face when they get in there. And they have to deal with this because they don't have the backing of the people. And it's the power's in the people. Plain and simple. Power's in the people. So if the people is not there to support these, senators who actually trying to support us and lobby, for change. And that's the thing, you don't have to be a paid person, a paid lobbyist to go there and lobby for what we want as Americans. We as the people, we are the lobbyists. We're supposed to be lobbying for what we want. So we go down there and we protest in police shootings, not talking about actual real politics and everything like that, economic issues or what have you. But we got to deal with this police shit. We got to deal with racism. This is what we have to spend our time with. This is what consumes CNN and everything like that. Not real economics, not real politics, not real things that's going to help the American people. We got to deal with racism. Somebody saying the N-word and all kinds of stupid shit like that. This is what they have us working with instead of actually going after, the real issues in America. It's a joke. It's crazy. And if people really expect something to change, you got to understand it's not ever going to happen. We're going to continue to complain and complain year after year. Ain't shit going to happen. Nothing is going to change. So we see it. Come on. How many years got to pass by for people to realize it? Nothing is going to happen as long as this system is in place. It's not. Plain and simple. These congressmen, they're not just going to have a change of heart, overnight. It's not going to happen. So you look at the system, you look at the record for the system, you look at everything that has been passed. And as I said, the problem is, one, you have the people who can actually make change that they're keeping them happy. They're benefiting from this government. As I said before, a lot of white people are hesitant to really push for real change, the people who can actually do something, because they scared. They don't know what America's going to be like, and they know they have privilege, and they want to keep that privilege deep down. They just want things to change. Well, we want to keep white privilege, but we want y'all to stop, killing black folks, because they're making us all look bad, or I'm starting to feel guilty about it. You have groups out there, of white folks pushing for reparations for slavery, pushing for land to be given back to black people. You have the uncovering, one, not just by Native Americans, but by a lot of white scholars who's telling them straight up, hey, the black people, the Africans, are the real Native Americans. Yeah, the Native Americans who we see are Native Americans, but you can't deny that Africans was there before them. I mean, that's just, come on, the proof it's already been proven. So we look at it and they say, well, we can't allow Native Americans to pay taxes because this is their land. Wait a minute, this is our land. And this is why so many things have been covered up, because legally, if you're going to give that, right to the Native Americans, you have to give it to African Americans as well, who was here, which is why they want to say we all came on a boat from Africa, which we know that's just not true. Columbus wrote in his diary himself that Africans was here. They found the remains already here. The Olmec statues alone just tell you. Come on. So we being fucked. It's just not going to change. And nothing we do is going to change that unless, everybody wake the fuck up, stop fighting over stupid stuff, and come together and look at the real issues. We're going to forever be arguing back and forth. They playing this like ping pong, and they just destroying everything until, they reach their final goal. It's frustrating when you see it. And people want to talk about, stupid shit. And that's why I get frustrated. People want to harp on what I'm doing when I'm actually one who's trying to fix things and help people. And it's crazy. Like I said, it's a mindset. It's something that I understand internally, but, it still frustrates me as a person. It's frustrating. It's like, damn, all the shit going on, and you want to jump on here and get on me about what I'm doing. What am I doing? It's so awful. It's crazy. People need to get a life. Get off my channel. Go somewhere else. Plenty of people on YouTube. You can go to their channel. You can do whatever they're doing. And some people put out videos and they charge absolutely nothing. It's on YouTube for free. You don't got to buy my DVDs. You don't got to buy the downloads. So it's probably best for you to go there and come here complaining like, stupid people. But, it's crazy. I understand frustration. I understand people who have a legitimate beef or argument. You can always email me at theroadmerkabah@gmail.com, and if I had time to read it, I will read it. But if it's a legitimate argument, I'm all for it. I will discuss it. We can talk it out. That's just how I do it. It's just easier that way. But, some people want to get a thumbs up. They want to comment, because they had a bad day, or because, they're feeling bad about themselves or what have you. So I don't know. Some people want pats on the back for the little stupid shit that they do. And it is what it is on that. But, I can only do, what I can do to try to rectify the situation as far as what they're doing and blocking me. So, I only can do what I can do. And this is, the way I feel. I'm trying to do something, and it is what it is. If I'm paying money for them to do something, they're not really doing it, I don't really know, so I have to, hope there is and pay the money. But I can also do this as well and try to, promote and get people to see what's out. Because shit, if you ain't seen the whole Saturn and Satan series, you're missing out. If you ain't seen all of Metal Netter, or especially the mystery schools, I mean, come on. If you've seen 4 and 3, you know what I'm talking about. It'll blow your mind away. But it's stuff that you got to see. You need to see the stuff. But definitely check it out. And I hate distractions. I hate to have to talk about this in a video that I really want to focus on. The Senate and Congress, what have you. But it kind of sort of go hand in hand, where you have people talking about stupid shit, blocking you from real facts and things that really matter. It's just like with this Congress and what we have been seeing and going through in America. And you people can relate, people can relate, and they can look at it and see. I know a lot of you turn on the TV and you say, what the fuck is they talking about? Why are we talking about this? Why is the news talking about stupid shit when we have so much crazy stuff going on? And now you have this hurricane coming. I don't even want to try to pronounce the name. Irma, whatever the fuck it's called, another hurricane coming, about to completely decimate Florida. It's down there now near Puerto Rico. I got people in PR, hopefully y'all cool, people who I know, and Dominican Republic. And if you in Florida, my cousin B Wild, people who I know down there, get out of there. Seriously, get out of Florida. They're talking about it consuming Florida and destroying the coast or what have you. Who knows? It's one of those things where you can't really predict what it's really going to do or the direction it's going to go. But I always say, better safe than sorry. If it's coming to Florida, if you are able to evacuate, I would just say get out. Go as far north as you can, chill until it's blown over, and then go back. It's just that easy. At least, you'll be safe. So you got to understand, a lot of people don't understand how this system works. If we're going to actually have change, if we're going to actually, make something happen to benefit us, we have to go through Congress. We have to go through the Senate. We have to speak to them and get these people to make the change happen for us the way it's supposed to go down. This is what these people are elected for. They work for us. So if we want this stuff to happen, we got to go to them. But if they already have a mindset, if they are already bought and sold, and they have this mindset of screw the people, now what? What are we going to do? So you got to understand, it starts with them. We're not even starting with them. We are listening to a couple people who are paid to get up there and say bullshit stuff against the system. Oh, the system is this. You're wrong. These people go on rants and, cuss out the rest of the Senate and Congress. But they still keep their jobs. They still keep their seat, and nothing ever changes. And they somehow don't seem to affect the rest of the people. Congress, again, the Senate is WWE. The shit is all smoke and mirrors and nothing gets done. You mean to tell me they can't look at the police shootings and act on that and say, well, we need to come together and do something and come up with a new law for these cops to stop killing these black folks? You don't think they can do that? You don't think they can look at the system and say, well, it's crazy. Minimum wage is definitely too low. People need to get paid more. It's going to boost the economy and help everybody out. No, they don't do that. People don't understand the point of having senators, governors, and mayors and congressmen or what have you. The whole point is one, and so the government don't get too big. And the government is gigantic right now. It's Titanic. It's too big. They are in too many facets of our life. They are not supposed to be, having their hands in the school system. They already have their hands in the banking system, which so many presidents warn of. If we let this system grab control of the bank, it's going to be horrible. And that's exactly what they did. They have their hands in marriage. They have their hands in too many different things, too many aspects of human life where they shouldn't have, no place in. They shouldn't be able to kick in your door anytime they want to or stop and frisk you without probable cause. If you ain't just come from robbing the damn bank that they can prove, they shouldn't be stopping you and messing with you. It just can't be done. And they're infringing on too many real basic human rights. That you have, devoid of any type of government system. When I look at cops just come up to somebody and stop them, and it's harassment to me. I ain't do nothing. You fit a description. Prove I fit the description. That's crazy. I mean, you can't walk down the street and be minding your business and not get bothered by a cop or not be looked at as a potential, burglar or a robber or a murderer or a suspect. It's crazy, just because you're black or whatever color you is. It's crazy for them to have the power to do that. It's crazy. So, we got to understand all this stuff goes back into this government system who has their hands in too many cookie jars that we got to deal with. That's bogus. And so many people are preaching smaller government. We got to get them out of so many different systems. And you got to understand the setup, and they do so many things and allow so many things to happen so they can intervene. And by them intervening, they can creep into many different aspects of our life. So you had a lot of people, after they caused the Great Depression, remember they caused that to happen. But you had a lot of people now because of that say, hey, we need help. We need money. The government needs to do something. There's people starving in the street. Gotcha. So we got the welfare program. We got all these programs now so they can jump into different facets of our life. They can take your kids now. They can intervene in your marriage, take your house, own your land. Now they can mess with your cattle, your farming, something that is as old as American, as human life itself. The government got their hands in farming. Come on. Think about that. They got their hands in farming. That's crazy. So you can't even grow crops. You can't even collect rainwater in certain states. This shit is crazy. And people just, when the next episode of Power coming on? When Game of Thrones coming on? Racism. When these motherfuckers stopping you from getting rainwater. Come on, man. It just goes to people who you just argue and talk about shit that don't matter. That's just so small. And I don't like to really, pick at, because I understand these people. I understand, what's wrong with them. They don't like their life. They're having problems, financial or personal. And a lot of people just want to complain. I get that. But you got to watch where you're complaining. You got to understand you need to complain to something that's actually worth complaining about. And, the easiest target is the person who care about you the most. And that's the thing, when people want to hurt somebody, they usually hurt somebody who's close to them. Everybody's been through that in relationships. People have been through that with their parents. Parents pissed, it's get away from mom. I remember growing up with my mom. If my mom ain't had no cigarettes, get the fuck out the house. It's over. She was crazy then. So, I remember we used to run around, like make sure we had money to get her some cigarettes because my mom ain't had cigarettes. She would go on a rampage. So it's people just have personal issues and they don't know how to handle it, and people have frustration, so they take it out on whatever. I mean, I understand that, I accept it, but I still reserve the right to defend myself and to respond to anybody's negative allegations, if not for anything, to just get the truth out there and to get people to understand what's going on, even though I know I don't have to. But sometimes you have to, because the way this society is built, the way our minds are being controlled right now, if you don't defend yourself in this day and age, you tend to be wrong. The person who's making the accusations tend to be accepted as a truther or somebody who's, putting out truth. And, all they're really looking for is a pat on the back and a thumbs up. And, you get people who don't understand what's going on and actually give them that, who might feel the same way but don't want to say anything, do that. So it's just how it is. But we just argue about shit that don't really matter. And we need to pay attention to what's going on. And, this government is ballooning out of control. And the whole point, the purpose of us electing these officials is to make sure that does not happen. That is their job. That's what they are supposed to do, to make sure they have the best interests of the people and to not allow the government to infiltrate, our everyday lives. That's the whole purpose of the Senate and the Congress, to do what the people want, and it's not happening. I got a lot of people off of the last couple videos I released talking about all this stuff. A lot of people just have solutions. A lot of people ask questions. This is it right here. This is what you need to realize. One, that these are the problems. The government can fix them, and they won't. If we don't change the system, nothing is going to change. If the system is not dealt with first, nothing else will happen. So when we look at all these people that's coupled with this system, this whole media, conglomerate that's controlling and instigating all this shit that we see, they're involved in this whole government system. And we don't look at this stuff too as well and understand that, the same people that's in government own these corporations, and they have their hands in so many different pots. And if we don't realize that and understand that all this stuff is connected, and you got to cut off the head first to deal with the rest of that stuff, and that's going straight to the system and straight to government and dealing with that. Because then it's a trickle down effect. We cut them off, or we control the government, then we can fix everything else. And that's the thing. And, people just don't understand the power of the people and what we have to do. And the only way to fix it is unity, because everybody got to come together. So that's my point. So, it's one of those things where you got to look at the common good. You got to look at the overall good and say, well, in order to fix this, we got to come together. We got to put things to the side. We have a bigger common enemy that we need to be dealing with instead of arguing with each other. So distractions to keep us away from the real boogeyman, the real problem, which is this government system. And I always go back to it. I don't care what people want to say. I mean, I'll talk about Black history or what have you and everything like that, but I always come back to this government system because I understand it's the main problem. When I put out videos about racism and everything, I always talk about unity. I talk about the government is dividing and conquering us. It's the real problem. So you can feel the way you feel, say what you want to say. You can have hate in your heart, but when it gets down to it, if you actually really want change and you really want stuff to change and stop and be fixed, it begins with the government. So we need to have our attention focused on real things that really matter. Everybody's attention should be focused on the news media and focused on this government system, as far as saying, y'all bullshitters, y'all assholes, y'all ain't doing what y'all supposed to do. y'all need to go. People need to be looking into trying to find a way to get rid of this entire system. Is it something we can do as a people to just overhaul the entire government system and get rid of these things, to fix these things? So we're looking at the situation as it being complicated. We need Congress to get rid of the Federal Reserve. We got to do this and do that. And we are the people. This is our country. The country belongs to us. We understand what they did to us. We need to come together and change that and put the system in a position where it's going to benefit us. It's just that simple. But if you're distracted by TV shows and entertainment, if you're distracted by racism and stupid shit, if you're distracted by having to pay bills or what have you and go to work, then you're not going to be focused on these things. We can change all of our lives and get everybody out of poverty fast. And that's what people need to be focused on. Anybody putting together a plan or trying to formulate any kind of strategy in America to fix America, the only thing you need to be thinking about is changing the system. It's the only way it's going to get fixed. You can come up with any kind of plan you want. You have to present it before the very people who you're trying to get the change from. The very people who are oppressing you. The very people who are responsible for any problems in your life. So if we don't get rid of that, it's never going to change. It's easy. So, our focus is misled. It's being led to stupid shit that don't matter, that's not going to ever change anything. And it's frustrating when, you have a good day and the day is good. Or you have a good day at work, you're just out, you're having fun, you're having a good time, and then you have to come home and sit in front of the news and see this bullshit. And it's just like, it takes away from it. It takes away from your experience here. It takes away from anything you're trying to do positive, and it's frustrating when you see it. And it's something that we just shouldn't have to deal with and don't have to deal with. But people are afraid of change. People are scared of real work. People don't want to support anything that has to do with change. A lot of people just want to bitch and complain. We have been conditioned to do that. We have been conditioned to complain about anybody that's doing anything outside of what we think they should be doing. And sometimes people just want to complain for, no reason at all. One of the good things it's doing is getting religious people to question their religion and to really think about what they believe in. Because as I said before, if you think it's right for this stuff to be going down, you need to question your God, who supposedly, is responsible for all this stuff. So if you are religious, you can't really be complaining about what you're seeing because it's a part of your God's plan, right? So why are you complaining about Trump or anything else? Why are you complaining about black people being killed? Why are you complaining about this and that when this is supposed to be a part of God's divine plan? Now, if you think this plan is sick, then you ought to question religion. And I'm always going to attack religion, always, as long as it exists. So people always say, why are you always going after the Bible, the Bible, the Bible? Because you need to understand what it's really talking about, what it's really trying to tell you, and not what you have been brainwashed to accept. And that's what I do, and other people as well. Never going to stop doing that. Most of my videos are always going to be about the Bible, about religion. It just is, because as much output as they're putting out to sucker people in, new people are being born into this crap. We need to have that much material out there to combat it. Much people getting turned onto Islam and turned onto these religions in prison. We need to have the help for them for when they come out. And it needs to be out there. This content needs to be out there. We can keep on protesting. We can keep on doing what we've been doing over the years, but we can see now. By now you can see. It's not going to stop. It's not going to change. We have to take a different approach. And this is what I'm speaking to on others as well. We need to start looking at this stuff and saying, this system is the problem. Racism is a distraction, plain and simple. If you are white and you understand what's going on, you can look at the problem and see that it's a problem. If you are silent about that problem, then you are racist as well. If you're going to shut up and just say, oh, well, I see it's a problem, but I don't want to say nothing about it, how are you're an accomplice to racism? You need to speak on the issue and say, hey, this shit is not right. And again, if you are not oppressing black people, if you are not a racist, then you shouldn't speak on what black people are doing to combat racism or anybody else is doing to combat racism. Why should you speak against what they're doing if you're not racist? So, these are distractions. These are things we got to deal with. And we got to get through all that to get to the real problem, which is this system. So any plan that's going to be formulated, we got to look at this system first. and sometimes it's overwhelming and it feel like it's not ever going to happen or nothing ever is ever going to change. It seems like it's a plan in place to just completely get rid of black folks, which is why I'm trying to develop people spiritually as well to understand this is the route you need to go, because these people look like they're trying to wipe us out. And, you got black people who act like they just don't care. So, yeah, wanted to make this quick video and get into this stuff. But, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Thanks to everybody who support and understand what I'm doing. And I see you guys next video.